Hey, what's going on? This is Sports Vibes TV. I'm your host, Quis, and I'm coming at you with another realistic rebuild. Now, in this rebuild, I've taken a lot of your suggestions from the one I dropped a couple days ago. If you haven't checked it out already, I'll put the link up above and you guys can go view it after you're finished with this one. Now, like I said, in this one, I've used a lot of your suggestions, and if you want to see me, make some moves or make some trades, let me know down in the comment, and then I'll try and do another realistic rebuild and try to incorporate some of those moves. But in this one, it's going to be a 4-team trade, and I think this one puts us in a lot better position to compete going down the stretch. It addresses a lot of issues, and it brings in a major name that a lot of Knicks fans have been clamoring for. So with that being said, let's jump right into the trade machine, and let's see what 3 teams are going to be included in this deal. So now, as you can see, it's going to include the Knicks, the Bulls, the Pacers, and the Grizzlies. So this is a trade that I think is going to benefit the Knicks immensely. And, there are also going to be things involved for each of the other 3 teams that's going to do some positives for them as well. And that's why they're involved in the trade. So with the Bulls, you already know what it is. We're going to be acquiring Zach Lavine. Boom. Trade him to the Knicks. And just to preface this, it technically isn't a 4-team trade because the other 3 teams won't be trading with each other. I just set it up like this so you guys can, see that at least all the moves I'm making do fit under the cap, and try to be as realistic with it as possible. So Zach Lavine will be coming over from the Bulls, and in return, we are going to be sending back, Obi. Obi's on the way out. Not that I'm saying I'm giving up on Obi, but to bring in a talent like Zach Lavine, you're gonna have to give up some assets. So Obi's going to the Bulls. Kevin Knox is also going to the Bulls. Trading the Bulls, we're giving them 2 young pieces that they can use to develop their team moving forward. And we're also giving them Reggie Bullock just to help make the salaries match. Now, in terms of picks, we're going to be giving up 2 first-round picks. We're going to give up Dallas's 2021. Trade that to the Bulls. And then we're also going to be giving up our own 2023 first-round pick. So those moves kind of square away the Knicks and the Chicago Bulls portion of this trade. So we get Lavine, they get Bullock, Knox, Obi, and 2 first-round picks. Now, the next team we're going to be trading with is going to be the Pacers. So in return, or what we're going to be acquiring from the Pacers, is going to be Myles Turner. A lot of people like Myles Turner. Me personally, I'm not the biggest fan, but it's not always what I want. You guys wanted to see what a team with Myles Turner would look like, so I'm here to provide that for you. Myles Turner, and what we'll be sending in return, Nerlens Noel, Austin Rivers, and I think in some trades they have Mitchell Robinson going over for Myles Turner, but in the last rebuild, a lot of you guys wanted to keep Mitch. So what I did, instead of trading Mitch and Austin Rivers, or Mitch and Knox, I traded Nerlens Noel, Austin Rivers, and we're also going to give up a first. We're going to give up Dallas's first. So unfortunately, we won't have any other 2023 first round picks, but we have an abundance of 2023 second round picks. So I'm hoping in 2023, if we really wanted to make a move, we could package some collection of second round picks and maybe move up, get into the late first round if we really decided that we wanted a first round pick in that season. So that's my mindset behind that. So In return for Myles Turner, we're giving up Austin Rivers, Nerlens Noel, and a first-round pick. So we don't have to include Mitchell Robinson in the deal. Now, with the Grizzlies, the player we're going to be acquiring, Kyle Anderson. Oh, we didn't have to zoom in like that. Trade him to the Knicks. Zoom out. All right, good. So yeah, so we're gonna be trading Kyle Anderson to the Knicks, and we're going to give up Frank Nitti. Trade him to the Grizzlies, and we got to give up Iggy, unfortunately. And then no picks at all. So now let's just see if this trade goes through. The moment of truth. Bang! Success. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. And look at the teams. Just giving some brief explanations for each trade and why each team would participate. So, no brainer. The Knicks are going to get Zach Lavine, Myles Turner, and Kyle Anderson. All beneficial for the team. All players that are still under contract. That's another thing a lot of you guys didn't like. You said I was trading for players that only had 1 year left on the deal. So I said, all right, I'll adjust. I'll do these realistic rebuilds based on, the rules and regulations you guys want to put on. And we'll see if we can get creative like that. So all these players are signed to at least another year on their contract. And as you can see, the computer says we're going to be 9 wins better, which is positive. The Bulls are going to get worse, but, they're in a revolving door when it comes to rebuild. So they're going to get 2 first-round picks. They're going to get 2 young players in Knox and Obi, and then they get an expiring contract in Reggie Bullock. Now, with the Pacers, they're getting a first-round pick for Myles Turner. I'm sure they would want. Nerlens Noel, they're getting a replacement, because remember, the Pacers are still right now in contention. They've had like a little slump recently, but I'm pretty sure they don't just want to go and fire sale right now. They still want to be competitive. So Nerlens Noel has been a competent starting center for us. So we'll send him over there. Austin Rivers, he really hasn't played for us, but maybe he could be a spark off the bench for them. And like I said before, they're getting their first round pick. And they're not getting better, they're not getting worse, but at least in the move, they're getting that first. Now the Grizzlies, I included Kyle Anderson because he's been up in trade talks, and I wanted to keep it as realistic as possible. And as I was making this trade, we were moving Reggie Bullock, and I'm like, who could we put at the 3 so that way we're not shorthanded? Because we're already kind of shorthanded at the 3 because we're starting Reggie Bullock. So we clearly don't have too many great options. So if we're going to move Reggie Bullock, I didn't want to elevate Alec Burks into the starting lineup because I'd like our second unit the way it looks now when healthy. So I decided to go out, bring in a Kyle Anderson who can play some time at the 3. He can also play some time at the 4. And he can shoot. I think he's shooting right around 37% from 3 right now. He's also a pretty decent passer or facilitator from his position at his size. So I think it would fit well with Tom Thibodeau's offensive system. And also he can help stretch the court out there and be a shooter in catch and shoot situations off passes from, Julius Randle. So I think this works. The Grizzlies, they don't get any better either, but Kyle Anderson, they clear up his salary and they get Frank Ntilikina. Maybe he could be their defensive stopper, get them back to those grit and grind days over there. But this is what I was looking at when I kind of made these decisions on these trades. So now I just want to jump over to the court view. That way you can see how the starters and the backups look. All right, now we're in court view, and as you can see, we have the starters on the left and we have the bench on the right. So we have Elfrid Payton. He's still starting. He has that no trade clause. So in this iteration of the rebuild, I'm not going to assume he's going to accept the trade. So he's still here. He'll start, but we still have options off the bench. So he doesn't have to play too many minutes, 15 minutes a game, whatever. Zach Lavine, he's going to be slotted in at the 2. Honestly, it's interchangeable between him and RJ. You can have either one play the 2 or the 3. I think RJ has played more minutes at the 3 recently than Zach Lavine. So that's why we have him over there. But yeah, like I said, those two interchangeable, and I think those two will be a pretty potent, two potent options out there on the wing. Now you have Julius Randle. He's still going to be there as our power forward, holding it down. The offense is probably, does the offense still run through Julius Randle with Zach Lavine involved? Who knows? But, it'll be nice to see what happens. Also, Myles Turner, he's going to be there as our center. He's a player that can, stretch the court. I mean, you guys say he stretches out the defense by being able to knock down outside shots, but his 3-point percentage been kind of, I won't say brutal, but it ain't been great. He's shooting like 31% from three last time I checked. And then not only that time we went against the Pacers and we beat them, he kind of shot them out the game in that fourth quarter. So, you guys wanted to see him on the team, so I put him on the team, and we'll see what a lineup like this would look like. Also, when you go to our second unit now, it's pretty much the same as before, except we're going to demote Mitch and we've added Kyle Anderson. So you got Emmanuel Quickly and Derrick Rose, both set as the guards. And then you have Alec Burks at the 3. Kyle Anderson, like I said, he can play both the 3 and the 4. So we have him coming off the bench right now to spell Julius Randle, but he can still take minutes at the 3 if needed. Also, we have Mitchell Robinson still on the team. You guys made that request that Mitchell Robinson stay on the team. So he's still there as our backup center, and he should still flourish in that role. Him and Nerlens Noel have been pretty interchangeable for this whole season. So it should be like, he should be moved to the bench and we shouldn't skip a beat, honestly. So I like this team. I think this team is pretty good. What I also like is the fact that I didn't trade all of our 2021 first picks. So we still have a first round pick in order to find whoever's going to be the replacement at point guard for Elfrid Payton. And we still have a bunch of 2023 picks, or second round picks. So if we need to, if our pick isn't high enough for us to get a guard that we like, we still have some picks that we can trade in order to move up and see what we can do. So, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you like this iteration of the rebuild? Do you want to compare it to the one I did a couple days ago, see which one is better? Let me know down in the comments. I like to hear what you guys think, and I like to hear your suggestions because it helps me build out more trades and helps me give you the scenarios that you would like to see. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Once again, I'm Quis, host of Sports Vibes TV, and I'm out.